regeneration. The type of site, honestly, that made antiviral software programmers rich. And yet, the next part snagged him. The Long Way Home author, alien abductee, famed cryptozoologist, and renowned cultural anthropologist Mark Sandoval is on the hunt for a research assistant. And maybe it's you. He snorted at the cultural anthropologist part and scrolled down past the iconic cover of The Long Way Home, Sandoval's memoir about his alien abduction. The image was a tiny human figure enveloped in a cone of light from some unseen but brilliant overhanging light source, the same image they'd used for the movie, and then past Sandoval's Hollywood-quality headshot. It continued. Mark Sandoval is looking for a research assistant to accompany him on a site visit outside of the U.S. Position is confidential and time-sensitive. Terms and compensation commensurate with experience. Visit marksandoval.com to apply. "Brian!" Alice bellowed from downstairs. "Get your pregame drink on, dear heart. Let's do this shit." "We're making the most terrible drinks we can," warbled Robert. Brian typed in the address to Sandoval's website, and it was a much nicer affair. Professional, clean, and surprisingly understated considering the man claimed to have at one time literally traded punches with a chupacabra. And there was the ad, the same exact information with a click to apply button at the bottom. Vague as hell. Had the air of haste to it, something quickly cobbled together. But he clicked on it, scratched his chin with his thumbnail, pressed 3 fingers against his eyelid, felt the sick familiar throb and the hidden meat behind his eye. He quickly typed in the various fields, name, email address, phone number, and confirmed that he did indeed have a valid passport. Then he uploaded his CV, which he had at the ready because this, of course, was not remotely the first time Brian Schutt had dicked around with the notion of ditching everything in regard to his future. No, this was not the first time at all. To be fair, it was admittedly a decent resume for a 30-year-old who was still doggy-paddling through his academic career, who had yet to submit his dissertation, that obnoxious, convoluted, soul-shattering paperweight that it was. As cowardly as he felt when he thought about it, and as one-dimensional and chicken shit as that stasis made him feel, he really was close to being done. And he'd worked on 2 published papers that he'd been given credit on, and had gone on a number of digs with his professor, Dr. Don Whitmer. All of them in the States, true, save for the one on the shore of Iceland's Lake Holmavat, hence the passport. And Whitmer was most certainly no slouch in the anthropology world, so hey, there was that. Academic doggy-paddling aside, he really didn't look too bad on paper. Though what the hell a guy like Mark Sandoval was actually looking for in a research assistant was anyone's guess. Impervious to silver bullets, telepathy, acting experience. Someone clumped up the steps and knocked on his open door. Then Ellis was leaning in the doorway, holding something muddy and dark in a wineglass. Scowling, he took in the state of Brian's room. The unmade bed, the balled-up socks on the floor. Dirty clothes lay in drifts, piled against the molding like wind-blown garbage. Papers were literally spilling out of the drawers of his desk. "It smells like you jerked off and then died in here," he said. "You're a charmer." "And then jerked off again." Brian's dissertation sat on top of his dresser, a mess of paper stacked 3-4 inches tall. On top of it rested an old Vietnam-era pineapple grenade long since robbed of its charge. Something he'd bought himself last year as a joke, supposedly, when the irony of not finishing the thing yet had actually seemed a little ironic and not weighted and terrible. Ellis offered him the wine glass, and Brian said, "I don't know, man. My head's killing me." Ellis frowned. "Drink it." As if he were psychic or the room was bugged, Robert yelled, "Drink it!" from downstairs, drawing out the last word until it ended in a series of yips and howls. Brian took a sip, smacked his lips, took another drink, squinted up at Ellis, and then it hit him. Jesus, what's in this? Ellis ticked them off with his fingers. Coke, whiskey, vodka, instant coffee, cocoa. Oh, God, barf. Oh, nutritional yeast. Some cherry liqueur Robert got from a work party 2 Christmases ago. Onion powder. Ellis, no.